In this lesson, I will discuss a special technique called as stakeholder analysis. This technique will answer the question I asked in the previous lesson: how did we identify these stakeholders? The goal is to create a list of stakeholders and their relevant information such as their position in the organization, roles on your project, their stakes, their expectations, attitudes, that is their level of support for the project, their interest in the information about the project. Not everybody will want a lot of information. Different stakeholders will have different information requirement. So the technique is really to understand the stake of everyone involved in your project. So how do we go about it? You can consider 5 simple criteria. This is the technique for identifying stakeholders. The first one, interest. Find out which individuals and groups will be affected by the decisions or outcomes of the project. Automatically, they will all be your stakeholders. Second, rights and regulations. Identify all the laws and regulations, whether it is legal or moral rights, that will impact the project, including privacy issues, ethical issues, environmental sustainability, etc. In our EHR project, this is going to be pretty important because this is a healthcare project and it's public facing. So this is quite an important criteria. Third criteria is ownership. Determine who owns important infrastructure of the project, including software, hardware, machinery, web domains, brick and mortar offices, intellectual property. These are all some examples. In our project, the EHR licenses have to be purchased from a vendor, and only after that our project gets ownership. Okay. Fourth criteria, knowledge. Identify who has the special expertise or your knowledge or skills or political connections that are required. This also includes identifying the flag bearers of your project, people who are advocating your cause or acting as a buffer for you and between the power structures for your project. So these automatically are also stakeholders for your project, and you will need them to execute your project. Fifth criteria is contribution. Determine who provides the necessary capital and human resources and the decision-making authority for your project. So these 5 criteria can be your primary investigation tools to build the stakeholder register. And this is what we had used. And I hope that was helpful to you. In different projects, you might add more criteria or remove some depending on the domain of your project. As I said before, this is just the starting point, and we need to analyze our stakeholders even more because this is a complex project. In the next lesson, we will discuss several tools used for stakeholder mapping and representation. So I'll see you there.